soul is stuck between dark and the light. It's like playing some musical chairs. They kicked me out, so I started a life, made a bag that was bigger than theirs. I win and I lose and I win and again. I can see why they think that's unfair. We put in the work and we making them bends. To be honest, I don't really share. You rolling with hitters, I don't understand. You killing good people, that wasn't the plan. Round up the game, come get your mans. He's selling his soul for a couple of bands. I opened his eyes, lifted a hand. As far as you see, this is all in my land. Cause I've been through hell, then I came back. That's the one reason I don't give a damn. Whoa, devil knocked and I buzzing man. This is life with the son of man. Poured a drink, half a dozen in. Threw my head for a sudden spin. Sad story with my violin.
Yo, what up, beaches? What's good, fam? Welcome to the Sunday Funday Q&Anus. Get those questions ready, cause I got that A for ya.
Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. I just wanna win on the low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa, whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no, no. I just wanna win on the low, like you making demands, I said whoa. I just wanna win on the low, like ask me where I've been, I said don't, like you making demands, I said whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no. I just wanna win on the low. Ask me where I've been, I said don't know. You making demands, I said whoa. She wanna be friends, I said no. Hey, yeah, whoa. My soul is stuck between dark and the light. It's like playing some musical chairs. They kicked me out, so I started a life, made a bag that was bigger than theirs. I win and I lose and I win and again. I can see why they think that's unfair. We put in the work and we making them bends. To be honest, I don't really share. You rolling with hitters, I don't understand. You killing good people, that wasn't the plan. Round up the game, come get your mans. He's selling his soul for a couple of bands. I opened his eyes, lifted a hand. As far as you see, this is all in my land. Cause I've been through hell, then I came back. That's the one reason I don't give a damn. Whoa, devil knocked and I buzzing man. This is life with the son of man. Poured a drink, half a dozen in. Threw my head for a sudden spin. Sad story with my violin. All these problems start to pile in. All these peasants turn to violence.
Yeah. What's going on, peeps?
I just wanna win on the low.
What's good? Are we ready?
Ask me where I've
Are we
been, I
ready?
said
Are we
don't.
ready? Are we ready?
You making demands, I said whoa.
Swole, a Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Test. Testing. Testicles. Ooh. Welcome everyone to episode 1150 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on? Yas beaches, yas booshes. Welcome to the game train. Welcome to the swole hole. What's going on, swole sluts? What's going on? What's good, beaches? Welcome to the podcast, the slamcast, the mancast. This is the Sunday Funday Q&Anus. So for those of you that are not in the know, you have not been to a Sunday Funday Q&Anus before, we are taking lots of Q. So you give me the Q, I'll give you the A, and we'll go on with our day. So we'll be here for a little bit, so do not wait. Drop your questions in the comments below, and I will go where you want me to go. Maybe, if I feel like it. It's all based on whether or not I fucking feel like it. When in doubt, it's like, if I don't want to answer, I don't want to answer it. Anyway, you could drop your questions in the comments below. We'll talk shop, we'll talk shit, we'll talk whatever you want. Anything that you've been maybe not getting answered in the question stickers. I can only get to so many so often. And if you have not gotten your question answered yet, this is a great time to ask. And you can kind of slip it in. That's what she said. And then we'll get it done. So I want to remind all of you before we get in, as the questions start rolling down, so when you have them, you can drop them in the comments down below. Those of you that are in the Daily Swole Club, those of you that are Swolenormous X members, tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, accountability meeting. So I'll be giving you some updates on things I'm working on, answering any additional questions you might have for the private community, and just giving you kind of the lowdown, the latest, and the greatest. So if you want to get access to weekly accountability meetings, if you want to get access to the live Q&As and the stuff that we do, and just the support, the nutrition, the training content that we all pool in the private community, you can join the Daily Swole Club. And really all that is, it's supporting the podcast. So it helps keep this ad free, so we don't talk about anything that's not related directly to the Swolenormous universe, which I think is extra juicy. I don't like sponsorships. Daddy doesn't like sponsorships. Whenever I can help it, I don't want to get involved with most other companies in that sense. I have no desire. I don't believe in a lot of other shit. I'll have recommendations time to time, but I don't like anyone's hand in my shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anyone's hand on my junk unless I want it there. So anyway, thank you so much for everyone that does support. Those of you that are part of the Daily Swole Club, those of you that are ex-members, lots of big shit coming. This summer is going to be a juicy one. It's hot. It's hot. It's about 78 degrees in here. Alexa, what's the temperature? What's it out? What is it?
Right now, it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit.
85 degrees. All right, we don't care.
78 degrees.
No, we don't care about. We don't care about tonight. We care about right fucking now. So in Florida, it's mid 80s, beautiful. A little gray sky, but the kind of sky that's kind of nice. It looks like the rain. Looks like the rain is going to come later. Usually comes in the afternoon. And that's what she said again. Daddy's on fire. All right, let's get into some questions. Back workout. What are you training today? If you don't have a question, what are you training today? What are you working on? And then we'll just get into that from there. All right, let's take one from YouTube. Adam Penman. What's up, Papa? Do you recommend primer week when doing the 90-day dash again? Taking a week to do yoga and ready after it's getting it started today? You can. So the way, for those of you that are in Swolenormous X, if you're not in Swolenormous X, you're not going to necessarily understand, because the 90-day dash is one of the programs in X. You can. The primer week is great for a deload. It's also great for an on-ramp for people that are trying to get, I guess, acclimated to strength training. So it's great. That's why it's great for beginners, and it's great for advanced, because you can scale the program. You can make it more challenging. If you want, you can go into the program vault and dip into one of the other programs. And again, like I mentioned, and I'll mention again tomorrow, what I'm working on for the new program releases. But any type of week where you go for like total body awareness, those types of workouts, if you want to do more Swole and 7, a deload week is just lower intensity. So that's a great way to use it. You can absolutely do that. Depends on what you need. So you're already in the right state of mind. If you want to do the primer week, that's what it's there for. If you don't, and you want to just go right into it and kind of like jump into it already, you could always do the primer week after you go through the first phase again. So you can prolong that deload if you feel like you're still in the sweet spot, but that's what it's there for. It's there. And those total body awareness weeks and that kind of scheduling, those additional total body awareness workouts, that's what it's there for. So yeah, fire. Good shit, man. I was listening to episode 1149, but saw we were online. Fuck yeah, we were. How many of you are watching on YouTube? Where are my YouTube peeps at? We're getting a lot more people subscribing to the second channel. I've been talking about it a lot in every single YouTube release, because I want to make it clear. I used to broadcast on the main channel. Let me just clarify. So there are a lot of episodes that are on the main Swolenormous channel, but it took me a long time to realize that the live streams, YouTube doesn't really like live streams a lot. So it was affecting my distribution of my normal content. So I split it off into a second channel. So the Daily Swole podcast channel is all Daily Swole stuff, and there will be additional content and stuff coming there. So if you want to catch the live streams, subscribe to the second channel, Daily Swole podcast. But I talk about it. It's linked to my main channel. It's linked in the featured channel section. It's in the post descriptions. If you don't know where to find it, just click and then subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You definitely want the notifications on, because then you know when I'm live. If you don't, you can just watch the replay later. But if you want this high quality audio right here from the fucking black microphone dick in front of my face, that's where you want to go. Instagram, you just get straight to the phone, because I love you. Because Instagram doesn't allow for this multi-stream. Can't handle, can't hang. Can't hang. Can't do it. I never really get notifications from YouTube. You're not going to get notifications from a lot of places, because people are subscribed to so many channels. They don't want to annoy you with notifications every time you go live. You can customize it though. But I have heard that even if you have notifications on, you don't get it. Whatever. I mean, there's not much else you can do. You can follow me on Instagram. I usually post to my story when I'm going live, or give you a heads up like, hey, we're going live soon. but I don't always know exactly the time. It's not like it's scheduled. Like today we're going live at 3:47 p.m. I go live when I can. I go live when it's optimal, but I do my best. YouTube quality is lit. Is it good? Is it fire? I've always wondered if it's different on Facebook versus YouTube in terms of the live, because it's all from the same stream, but I don't know if each of those platforms kind of takes it differently. But it's good, especially if you want to stream it, if you want to watch it on your TV. I'm trying to get, as the air conditioning is going to get fixed, so hopefully we can have some air and I can work on some better lighting and stuff that way, because I want the video quality. Right now it looks great because I have some natural light coming in, but if it's super fucking hot, I got to block out that light because it gets steamy in this bitch. It gets steamy in here. Anyway, so what's up? Let's see on Instagram what we got going on here. Instagram, grunt like a gorilla. Do you prefer rack pulls over barbell shrugs? Both are great. As long as you have good form, rack pulls are great. You just want to make sure. Some people do rack pulls above the knee. Some people do it below. If you do it just below the knee, if your rack goes, or you can put them up on the bar, up on supports, it can really help you with that transitional point, like when you get past the knee, when you get that hip extension. So do I prefer it? It's just a tool. Anything in the gym, when you say which is best, what exercise is best, you have to remember that every exercise choice it's a tool. If you go to a mechanic, if you go to get your car fixed, you go into the shop, you're going to see stuff for air, you're going to see stuff for brakes, you're going to see stuff for oil changes, you're going to see stuff for transmission. If you go to any mechanic shop, you have tons of wrenches, tons of bolts, tons of lug nut, everything that fits every car, blah, blah, blah. So if you bring in a Toyota, you're not going to use the same tools you'd use for a Mercedes. You use the tools for the Toyota. So depending on what you're doing, think of the gym in that sense, that there isn't necessarily an exercise that's best, period. There are exercises that are likely better for the goal that you have. And there are certain exercises that are more universal. So you say in someone's house, hey, what do you have in your closet to repair things? You have like WD-40 and duct tape. It's like, okay, you can always use WD-40. You can always use duct tape. Like that's going to apply to a lot of things that you're going to do, just, things around the house. You get a wrench, you get a Phillips head, you get a flathead screwdriver, the basics, but then some specialty tools you'll use once in a while. And those could be certain exercises that you don't do all the time, but maybe you do them once a week or a couple times a month for like some more mobility work. You might not do that as like something every single day, but like a bench press or a deadlift or a squat or lunges or barbell rows, those are like staples. That's like the fucking focus that should always be there. You start getting too fancy with exercises, unless you're a high level bodybuilder and you have really specific things that you're working and carving out, you shouldn't be worrying about a lot of these fancy exercises. And that's where a lot of people get lost when you look at these bodybuilders and people that are, for example, I guess already there, for lack of a better explanation, like they're already at that high level. They've been taking anabolics or they've been training hard for years and years, and they have tons of that raw, just thick mass, and they're doing like some twisting and some like rotation. They're doing some more fancy shit. That's because they've already built that foundation. They've built the first 30 fucking floors. They're on floor 31 or 32. You're just trying to jump. And then if you copy that exercise, okay, you might feel sore, you might feel it, but it's not something that's really going to help you optimally if you're building floor 31 and 32 when you don't have 3 through 5 locked down. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people jump to that higher level, and those fancier kind of finishing or carving or isolation exercises that wouldn't apply as much to someone who's just starting out. And when I say just starting out, I'm not talking about, hey, it's my first month in a gym. I'm talking about the first few to several years of training. That's literally when you're new. You're not an advanced you're not advanced if you've been training for 3 years. You're still a noob. You're still fucking new. You're still new for like the first 5 years or so. For real. You're still learning so much stuff. It doesn't mean that you can't make a ton of progress. But to think that you're going to know everything in 5 years or 10 years, get the fuck out of here. I'm still learning shit. And I've been training for 20 years. Good night from Sweden. All right, Tobias. I'll see you tomorrow. Catch the replay. It's all good. Good shit, man. First time live. Welcome, Crystal. First time watching the podcast live. Love your work. Appreciate it. Thank you, Carrie. Carl. Sorry. Carl. I'm blind. All right, let's see. Are there any spots open to join your program? Fuck yeah. Go to swolenormousx.com and check it out. Absolutely. Now's a good time. Gonna be talking a little bit more about that in the next couple days because we got 4th of July. So I'm going to be talking a lot about Swolenormous X and giving you all some really good insights. I'll be contacting a lot of you for those that are trying to get that past that summer hump. How many of you are in like a little summer slump? How about that? What's causing your summer slump? Are you slumping right now? Are you kind of in like a funk? Are you in like the middle of shit? Are you in the middle of traveling? Are you in the middle of like a program? Are you in the middle of your nutrition? Are you kind of lost in the woods a little bit? Sometimes that happens in the summer. I think it's the heat. The heat causes confusion. No one knows what the fuck's going on. You're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm just hot. That's how I feel in Florida. In Florida, you just get hot. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? I'm pissed off. You don't know why. Like, oh, it's 95 degrees and 100% humidity. That's why I'm upset. Now it makes sense. Nothing's going on. Nothing's bad. I'm just sweating my fucking balls off. Ah, I get it. That's another story, Pied Piper. It would be cool if Vibram sponsored you so we can get those discount codes. Those are the kinds of things that I would accept some type of like a sponsor. So I shouldn't say that I would never take a sponsor, but I'm not like keen on it. I'm not looking for it. I don't know if like Vibram, I buy the Vibrams anyway. I'll talk about them. I'll give you my Amazon influencer code and then I'll get a kickback that way. That's fine. That's one of the beautiful things about Amazon. You don't have to be sponsored by people anymore. You can still make a quick $1 or $2 off a link. But I am putting that together. So for those of you that are interested in like the equipment that I use and stuff that I use, I will have the Swolenormous store. It's already kind of up. I just haven't really promoted it. I'm just kind of filling it out. So if you're interested in like the cookware I use and stuff like that, I'll talk more about that. Just a lot of stuff going on, but in the next couple of weeks, I'll be giving you guys links. If you're interested, I'll be putting that in like the YouTube descriptions and the videos. If you're interested in jumping on any of the stuff that I use, more than welcome to. I'll just share what I do. And then if you want to check it out, you can check it out. Give you more of an idea because people are always asking, what do you use for this? Or what do you wear for this? I'm like, okay, I'll just give it to you here. You can click the link and check it out. I've been working out consistently for 6 years and I still feel like a newbie. You should always feel new. You should always learn and always expose yourself to new training styles and new concepts as if you're new. Even for myself, you're still new. You're always learning. How much do you fucking know in this world? There's so much information. To have the audacity to think that you know everything, that's the first sign that someone's full of shit. If they're talking, even if it's science, whether it's opinion, to talk as if you know and have all the answers, I would not trust that person. When I talk, it's from experience. So you can say, no, that's not true. I'm like, well, I tried this and this was the result. And that's what I know. So if it's experience-based, I know what I've done. I know what I've helped other people do. I know what can work. Doesn't mean it's the only thing that does work. Just because you believe in a style of eating, just because you believe in a style of training, doesn't mean that's the only style of training that's going to work or that's what you have to do. So it depends on the person. You can't say that one style works and this one doesn't. It depends on the person. A lot of people try a training style or a nutrition style that's not really for them optimally, and that's why they have shitty results or they get injured because they're trying something that's not for them. They're trying something that's for someone else. And there's 7 billion people in the world. There are a lot of things that work for a lot of different people, and there's a lot of things that don't work for a lot of people. And because something gets popular and something gets really blown out of proportion and everyone jumps on it, becomes like a fad, everyone jumps on it. And a great percentage of those people are ones that it's not really optimal for. And they fucking fall flat on their face because they're not really pursuing what's optimal for them. They're not pursuing their health and their training from the right place. They're just following the bouncing ball, like I've been saying a lot lately. Could you go over a couple exercises to help with fallen arches? Just talk about it. You can Google that. There are tons of physical therapists and tons of foot doctors on Google and YouTube that will show you exercise. Work on your anterior tibialis. You can do heel walks. You can do anterior tibialis lifts with kettlebells. You can do, literally just, I believe it's considered like a supination exercise where you're pushing your big toes in and lifting your arch. Work on your gluteus medius. A lot of people have weak glute muscles and it causes knee valgus and their femurs internally rotate and fucking fall in. And then it relates to feet flattening. That's where a lot of that gets lost. It's not just coming from the feet. You can strengthen your arches and your ankles all you want. If your hips are out of alignment, you're still going to have issues with your ankles. The body's a system, so you need to activate all those things. So it could be likely because we're sitting down so much, so the hip flexed position shuts down the glutes, and then it's going to destabilize the hips, and then you'll get a lot of, I guess, artifactual movement in the ankles. Artifactual? Literally made that word up, so you're welcome. Fucking Bill Shakespeare over here just making up words. Crystal, I love that you don't push supplements. You push diet and exercise, and no one thing fits all. Try to provide shit that I know and that I know can work for you. I think it's a better approach. There are certain supplements that can definitely be beneficial, but that's what supplements should be for. Everyone's going for supplements right away. That's not the right thing to do. You shouldn't be going for supplements right out of the gate. That's just the wrong approach, in my opinion. Hark. Joanne, I drink heaps of water, always do. I do yoga for recovery and recently done elimination for my diet, but if the workout was intense, I get the brain fog. So guessing it's normal. Is that a question or that's a statement? That's a statement. I'll take some magnesium and some fish oil, stuff like that, Charles. Fucking knows. Coffee, bacon. I honestly think of my food as my supplements. If you think of your food and you focus on your nutrition as fundamentally like the main source of where you're getting your supplements, quote unquote, you focus on your nutrition a lot more. You can get a lot more from your nutrition, from your regular food than you think. If you want to try, look, you can try things. A lot of the supplements, let's say like a high quality multivitamin, a lot of those things aren't going to be bad. The question is, how much are those going to help? I think is what's really, and no one knows. You don't know if it helps you. You don't know. You don't know unless you're doing actual tests, like you did tests before, like regular tests. Let's say it's a blood work or whatever it is. And then you took it, you did regular tests. You don't know if it actually works. If you just take something and you feel better, it could be a placebo effect. So there's a difference between your perception of something working, if it's actually working. And there's also the supplements. A lot of what I talk about with supplements is not that, hey, this supplement is going to be harmful for you. Some of them can be, for sure. However, I think it's just as bad if you pay for something that isn't doing anything, good or bad. You're just spending $50 on a bottle of pills, and let's say it's not helping you at all. It's not hurting you, but it's not helping you. That's still a waste of money. That's a waste of money. That's a waste of effort and energy that you think is working that isn't working. So it depends on how you're discussing supplements being bad or good. I just say blanket, and I use that because it gets attention too. FYI. This is for attention. I'm trying to get your attention so that I can deliver the actual message. You know, when I say fuck supplements, yeah, 99% of my emotion, it's like, yeah, you don't need that. Most of you aren't to that level where you need to worry about that stuff, or you're putting too much energy to supplements. It doesn't mean that nothing works, period. And there's no reason you should take anything extra on top of your nutrition. But a lot of that stuff is not regulated. A lot of it you don't need. You don't know if it works or not. And you don't have the consistency in all the other areas of your life for you to even notice if it improves or not. If you're doing chaotic shit all the time, if your nutrition is up, down, inside out, all over the place, and your training is up, down, consistent, you're on, you're off, you're this, you're not going to notice a change if you take a supplement. If everything is really locked down, you have your foundation really consistent, and then you add something, like one thing, everything else stays the same. It's like a real experiment. You can see, oh, I feel this, that, and the other from adding this. And you know that a lot of that result or that benefit could either be placebo or attributed to that thing that you're adding because everything else was in control. If you're just doing random shit all the time, it's anyone's guess and you're just lying to yourself. You're like, oh, this works because I took it could be because finally you're eating regularly and you're training regularly again for the first time in months, and you just feel good and you look pumped because you're exercising, because you're sleeping, because you're training, not because you started taking this new creatine that you got. So, you know, when I feel like yesterday, Mama Swole was like, man, you look really fucking pumped today, because I came back from the gym and I was like fucking just like swole. But it's just because nothing really crazy. I didn't feel like I looked in the mirror. I didn't feel anything, but it was just because I had a great workout. I ate a nice, real solid meal right after. My muscles were looking pumpy McPumpleson. That's it. It's just in the moment, you know, snap a picture, gym selfie, looking swole. Had a good workout yesterday. Today's going to be some legs if I can get that done in time. It's already 4:15, so we'll stay a little bit longer if you got some questions. Not seeing a lot come in. You guys are a little bit slow today. A little bit quiet. A little bit on the quiet side. Deandra, 1990. Let's see. Best yoga move for tight hamstrings? All of it. There's no best yoga move. I want to master handstands by the end of the year. What does one have to do with the other? You just need to practice yoga. Just keep practicing yoga. There's no best move. Keep on practicing different styles. Just keep on practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Everything's connected. And the more you practice yoga, the more you realize everything's connected. Let me just put it that way. You'll realize like, oh, when I stretch my quads and my hips and my upper back, then I can get into my hips and I can get into these areas better. It's all connected. So don't think of any like what best yoga position. It's not how yoga works. Work it all. Work it all. Good question, but just keep on practicing. Left it all on the floor, training legs. Nice. Sad Savage Spartan. Tried explaining to my jabroni friend that he should do an elimination to lose weight. His dumbass decided he's going to try vertical diet instead. I don't know what that is. Any tips to convince him he's wrong? No, let him do his thing. If he wants to do that, let him do that. If he gets results, that's great. Don't convince anyone. Don't convince people of shit. It's not worth your time. Just focus on you. Whatever. I don't know if he's wrong. I don't even know what the vertical diet is. I've heard of it. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, someone else has asked, what's a vertical? Who knows? Everyone's got a name everyone's got a name for something. What do you think about intermittent fasting? It's fine if you want to try it. It's different for different people. Some people really like it. Some people really hate it. If you're trying to bulk up, I don't recommend intermittent fasting. I'm getting calluses and it's affecting my grip. Should be helping your grip. If you're getting calluses, it should be helping your grip, not hurting it. Calluses are good. It's natural. New sub here. Love from Belgium. What up? I'd love to go to Belgium someday. Florida in summer is like the surface of the fucking sun. Preach. Surface of the sun is cooler. It's the only place on earth that's cooler than the surface of the sun. Or hotter than the surface of the sun. Especially in science as new data becomes available. There's so much data. It's not even just the new data. How many of you know all the old data? How many of you know all the information that's already been talked about with nutrition and training? No one does. Any single person on earth, any single person, anyone, professionals or not, no one knows everything about training and nutrition. No one. They might have an opinion, they might have a thought, but a lot of people speak on thought and speak and try to talk around it because they want to act like they know rather than say, I'm not sure, but here's my opinion. Here's my, experience around that issue. Most people don't like to admit or say the word, I don't know. And if you're following anyone that says, if you're following someone and they never say, I don't know, or they never admit they don't know something, or they never, it's kind of a red flag. You shouldn't have an answer to every question. There's no fucking way you can know everything. The good news is you have the internet, you have Google, you can always cross-check information, you can look it up. But there's only so much space you can keep in your brain. I love fitness and nutrition, but I need space for like Seinfeld quotes. I need space for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I need space for like important things. I needed space for Game of Thrones until it sucked and I just like erased my hard drive. I just erased my brain. It was like an Etch-a-Sketch. I turned my head upside down. I hung upside down. I shook. I'm like, get the last couple seasons out of my fucking head. Just erase. Reset. Do you recommend split workouts for newbies or should every workout be full body? I do not think that every workout should be full body. I think if you make every workout full body, you're leaving gains on the table. Again, depends on what you want. There's a reason why bodybuilders and people that are focused on building muscle mass usually split up body parts because you get more volume. Your body will respond more with hypertrophy, increasing the cross-sectional area of the muscle, diameter area, same thing pretty much in this instance, when you are increasing the volume. And it doesn't matter what scientific study says, well, when you do full body, you can't get the same volume that you can do if you do upper, lower, or push, pull, or chest and back, and then legs. I like segmenting a little bit. I still like kind of doing upper and lower body. When I do chest and back, I think we can all agree that a chest and back workout is pretty much just upper body because you're using your arms. You're just not isolating single joint exercise as much. So you're not really you're not doing curls necessarily or focused shoulder exercise. You're training larger muscle groups. So I think if you're brand new to training, you should do full workouts, full body workouts, maybe 2 or 3 times a week to get started, and then start splitting it up depending on your goal, maybe upper, lower, push, pull. Again, depends on your goal. But I saw my results, my gains. Well, natural lifters should be doing full body. Fuck that shit. I did splits my entire fucking life and they work. You have to eat enough. You have to train hard enough. But that's the thing. When you're taking anabolic steroids, you're going to recover a lot faster. That's why you see these guys that just seem like they're training hard every fucking day. Yeah, because they're saucing. If you're doing things naturally, you need to give your body enough recovery time. And that's where the frequency can maybe be more beneficial over the volume. That's why doing more frequent training split, like for example, let's think of a very basic one. Let's do like chest and back, or like push pull when you're doing each body part twice a week, for example, rather than do chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, rest day, legs on Thursday, whatever it is. If you are training more frequently, you don't have to go as much with volume because you're doing it twice in a given cycle. And for a natural lifter that is going to have a harder time recovering from big volume workouts where you're crushing the body, it's going to cause a lot more of a negative effect potentially because of the damage you're causing. You're not recovering as fast as someone that's getting in exogenous hormones. So if you are doing more frequency, you drop the volume. So you're not doing quite as many sets on each workout, but you're doing it twice in a week. So for example, let's say you do 20 sets. Let's just say you're doing chest on a day or chest and back. Let's say for a chest and back workout, let's say you did chest and back once a week and you did 30 sets total, 15 for chest, 15 for back. I'm just throwing out round numbers. Maybe instead of doing 30 sets for chest on Monday, you did chest and back on Monday. You did 15 sets total or 16 sets. And then on the next day in the week, you did another 16 sets. Technically, over the course of the week, you did 32 sets, but you did it twice. You did less volume in a given workout. So you might not get as sore, but you might be able to increase the intensity. You might be able to go harder, but you did less volume. And you'll kind of hit those muscles twice because of the cycle of muscle repair. So you might be able to stimulate some more growth that way without overloading your body quite as much one time every like 7 or 8 days, for example. I wish politicians used your common sense nutrition advice when dealing with policy. Get the fuck out of here. But you can't have common sense when you have corporate sponsors. Yeah, politics, lobbyists. If you have other hands like directing you, that's why I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned with everyone's worried about all these social media platforms, YouTube, this. If anything happens for whatever reason and something happens on YouTube where I can't post my videos, like all the stuff that I make will be on my website. Like I'm not going to be held hostage by any of these platforms. So I have my own site, so I'm not concerned with what these other platforms do. I'm going to adjust and adapt. But for example, if you have corporate people, they're going to do what they want. When you use Facebook, when you use Instagram, when you use YouTube, you're literally a guest in someone else's house. They can say, get the fuck out whenever they want for whatever reason. What are you going to do about it? So it's important to make sure that, for me, I have a lot of redundancy. I do a lot of stuff on all the platforms because I don't want to be vulnerable to any single one. It's extremely risky and short-sighted to only do stuff on one platform. You're extremely vulnerable, and that's not how Papa Swole rolls. Let's see. What eating program can help me? How like intermittent fasting, but has intense job and intense workout? What eating program can help me? I'm not sure. That's not coherent for me, Sean. You like intermittent fasting? Like just eat how you want to eat. It's all about how many calories you're getting in and what's optimal for your lifestyle. Does kid yoga count as active recovery? It's the only way I get my yoga in with a 4-year-old and 2-year-old. Kid yoga? Have your kids do adult yoga and try to keep up. They're going to fuck around anyway. They're not doing kid yoga seriously. Kid yoga. Do real yoga and have them copy mom. They're your fucking kids. Don't give them yoga and do their BS kid yoga. Have them do it's human yoga. Kid yoga is just a good marketing tool to get like, hey, follow the bouncing ball. Pet the dog. Pet the dog. Reach for the sun. Fuck that shit. Have them copy you. They want to do it. They want to grow up. Kids always want to be older. They want to be like mom. Let's see. Demi Luna 1. I have an injury from ages ago that makes unilateral leg work near impossible to do. Shattered or walking, you're on one leg all the time, essentially. It makes it near impossible. Doesn't make it, but that's near impossible is not impossible. I would challenge your body to do the best you can. I would force your body to adapt. People adapt with one kidney. You still have to find your new equilibrium. Otherwise, what's the problem with that is not necessarily what you're thinking of now. It's when you're older and you don't have as much muscle strength and coordination, and you fall and you break your hip, and then you're immobile, and then you just fast slide downward to death. That's what you don't want. And if you have equilibrium issues now, you better be training that. You better be pushing yourself and, in a controlled environment, making sure that you practice your balance, because you need your body to, you're just going to give up on balance now because you have one organ? Don't be a victim to it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think you should get your body used to doing things in its new, that's your new normal. So you have to train your body accordingly, in my opinion. What's up, Sean Standiford? I have trouble working my back because my arms get tired first, like when doing rows. Any exercise ideas? Yeah, all the same ones. I just don't know your form. I couldn't tell you exactly. You're probably not activating your back muscles enough. It could be your grip, could be forearm flexion, could be your training split. I couldn't tell you just from that question, bro. Let's see. Feel Good 40s, Papa Swolio. Loved your recent clip on squats. I don't have regular access to a squat rack. Are goblet squats the best alternative? It's one alternative. Can you do deadlifts and stuff like that? Lunges. You could do dumbbell squats. You could do goblet squats. There's a lot of different types. There is no best alternative. It depends on what your form is. What your form is like. Favorite beer? I don't really drink much beer anymore. My favorite beer, I used to drink a lot of Rolling Rock and PBR, or Pumpkinhead or something around the fall. I don't really have a favorite one. I do like if I go somewhere and they have, let's say, microbreweries, if they have local, I always like to try smaller things because I don't have a craving for, Budweiser or Coors Light. I know I just said PBR and Rolling Rock, but that was in the past. I don't really drink that much beer anymore. I just feel better when I don't. A lot of my earlier videos are me drinking beer and eating bacon. I stopped drinking it regularly, and I just prefer whiskey more than beer. I just don't feel heavy and bloated from the carbonation. I'd rather have a cigar and have some Glenlivet or some black or blue label. I mean, I have a couple bottles over here, but I don't drink them often. But I'd rather, I guess, just the taste. I don't need a lot. I'm not trying to drink 12 fucking beers. So if I have a beer, it's going to be something that I want to try. It's going to be a reason for having it. It won't be just some generic. And that's just kind of how I think of it. Joanne, I've always told and believed to breathe out on the concentric part and in on the eccentric. Recently was told that was incorrect on a pull-up and should be done the other way around. Inhale on the way up and exhale on the way down? I would always exhale on the concentric for the most part, because when you're exhaling, you're contracting all those active expiration muscles, and you're tightening, increasing pressure inside, during the actual effort. It's one of the reasons why when you do a squat, you'll do the Valsalva maneuver. You take a nice deep breath in, you hold your breath, which creates thoracic pressure and stuff like that. I don't know who told you that. Those are also kind of the details that can make a difference, but at the same time, it's if you really prefer the other way and you're doing great with your work, I mean, is it going to be the be all end all of your results? I don't know. But when I do a pull up, I would just normally breathe out when I'm contracting, when I'm actively contracting, trying to overcome the resistance. Kaz Young, I've been competing in weight classes for sport. Last, I was 12% body fat, extremely restrictive. I want to continue competing, but it's messing up my relationship with food. Thoughts? If you know is messing up your relationship with food, it's up to you. What's more important to you? Your relationship with food and going through these extremes, or being healthier and looking for longevity? It's up to you. Dixie92 on YouTube. Do you see peanut butter as a good food as breakfast? I eat peanut butter and banana mushed together in the morning. A lot of calories, but I'm not cutting, so I don't eat peanut butter. I generally encourage people to cut it out and see how you react, because there's a lot of omega-6s. It's a legume, and a lot of people have issues with legumes. A lot of peanut butter has hydrogenated oils and other issues like that. It's not necessarily the cleanest food in many cases. People get enough omega-6s in their diet, but some people take it and they love it. There are a lot of people that have major issues with peanut butter, allergies, of course, anaphylaxis, but at the same time, you can have sensitivities. And if you're always eating it, you don't know that. So if you did an elimination, you cut it out, you would see your reaction to it. Good and bad is just an opinion. Those are just like kind of biased words that people throw out. So anytime like I or someone else says good or bad food, it's, you know, it's used loosely, but I personally don't eat peanut butter. Oh, there you go, Kayla. All right, so I'm behind on the questions. Kayla already answered that. What are your thoughts on, from John Roach on Twitch, what are your thoughts on pre-made meal prep companies? Depends. There are some that are really good. A friend of mine, well, it depends on if you're doing competition stuff or you just want healthy food. So I've had a friend of mine on here a couple times, Casey from Fit Food Fresh. It's a delivery company down here in Florida, and they make really good shit, and they take a lot of pride, and they focus on making like really high quality food. But there are a lot of ones. It depends on if you're getting delivered across the country. How fresh is it? Is it frozen beforehand? There's a lot of, usually in my opinion, if you want to order food, you should get something more local, because then you know it's going to be more fresh. It's not going to be frozen and shipped across the country. But if you have a lot of issues making it's all saving time. A lot of people look at these meal prep companies and think, oh, I can't afford that. Well, don't forget, you're not going to be buying food in the same quantity. If you're spending a couple $100 a week on food, and the meal prep company is a couple $100 a week, but you're also saving 10 hours of cooking and prep time or whatever it is. So it's relative. It's the same reason when people say, oh, but eating healthy is expensive. No, it's not. You're just buying shit food. You're not looking at it for what it is. You're not looking at it objectively. So if you're swapping out the money and the time that you could spend doing other things, that's what's beneficial. That's what's beneficial, the time. You can't replace time. You can make more money. You can't replace time. So if you're saving a lot of time, you have more time to go make more money or to go and exercise and to do other things. Due to past injury, my knees hurt during lunges. Is substituting with squats just as effective? Should I be doing something else as well? Yoga, a lot of yoga. Depends on why, due to past injuries, why your knees hurt. I guess everyone's going to be different. I think lunges are just so fucking fundamental. People usually they train them wrong. But the thing is with lunges, when you're stepping, you're flexing one hip and you're extending the other. So any kind of tightness around the joints, there's a lot of 2 joint muscles around the hips and the knees. So if you have muscles that are tight around the hips, it can hurt your knees, but that's because maybe your hamstrings are tight or your TFL is tight. There's certain muscles that cross multiple joints that, because you're putting your hips in alternating extension and flexion positions, it's going to cause tension around the knee and can cause like pain or like, ooh, like a sharp, like, ouch, it hurts my knee, or on the top of the kneecap, like in the patellar tendon or something like that. So it's not always right around the knee. It's not always from the knee injury. It could be from ankle stability and also from hips as well. So yoga, and yeah, you don't want to cause pain, but it's something that you might want to really look into, and how you can go to the source of the issue and not just go around it. It's like when people have, oh, my shoulder hurts when I do flat bench, so I just do incline. Well, you're just like avoiding the problem. It's still there. There's still an issue there. You're just avoiding the actual instant pain. It doesn't mean it's going to go away. Just because it's out of sight doesn't mean it's not in the moment. You can't just detour around everything. Your body still has that issue. You haven't gone to the source of the problem. I know it's arbitrary, but I use the InBody scale at my gym and I'm down in inflammation and body fat. How do you know if you're down in inflammation? I always pick up on this. I'm like, how do you know if you're down in inflammation? But that's good. That's good. I don't do that shit at InBody. I don't trust those things. Alexa, I don't trust those to give me like accurate information to be like, I'm going to base my progress or like how I feel like I'm doing good based on those numbers. I don't like doing that. I don't trust it. I don't trust it enough anywhere close to like that. Elena S. What do you suggest someone to do? Someone who, for some reasons, is not able to go to the gym and do serious workout with weights, so he will lose muscle mass and not gain fat to do home. Are you talking about some like theoretical person? That's not you. What do I suggest? you don't want to go to the gym and do serious workouts, but you don't want to lose muscle mass. Well, you're going to. If you built muscle in the gym and you're not going to the gym anymore, you're going to lose muscle mass. That's how it works. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you built muscle by training hard in the gym, and you're like, what can I do at home to maintain it? You're going to lose you're going to lose it. What are you talking about? You're going to lose a lot of that progress because you're not putting your body under the same type of overload. You can still do exercise and body weight and yoga and resistance bands if you have them. It's not the same as doing heavy deadlifts or heavy like resisted fucking negatives and pull-ups. You can't just, hey, I built all this muscle doing heavy fucking weights, but now I'm going to do band exercise on the beach forever. You're going to lose a lot of that size and that strength just because you're not doing the same type of overload. It doesn't mean you can't build other types of definition, muscle size, or muscle development or endurance, but it's not going to be the same. If it's not the same stress, you're not going to get the same results. What that looks like in effect, I don't know. It's the hard work is the variable. You can get really heavy bands. You can train really hard at home. You can have a whole workout facility at home. So I don't know what that means at home. A lot of people train at home, but they have squat racks and weights. So training at home is the same as me saying training at the gym. Some people, when they say train at home, it's like I have a pair of 15s and a resistance ball or one of those Swiss balls, the inflatable balls you do crunches and shit on. It's like, what can I do to maintain the muscle mass? I'm like, you're going to have to change your goal because you're going to lose a lot of it. It's just your body is only going to maintain what it needs to take action on the stress. Do I monitor my water intake, drink until clear urine, or when thirsty? I don't drink when I'm thirsty. You want to drink before you get thirsty. I don't monitor my water intake that closely. I just drink plenty of it. What's your opinion on CrossFit? It's not designed for most of the people that do it. It's very high risk, and oftentimes people do CrossFit because it's popular or because of the community or because their friend does it, and they expect different results, physical results, than CrossFit is performance-based. It's not how you look. It's not like, hey, I want to get abs, I want to build a better physique. Don't do CrossFit. That's not for that. It's more performance-based, and it's more like general skill-based, and it depends on the gym. It depends on where you go. Some people know or can lead you through it safely. But the problem is whenever you shotgun a brand and something blows up really quickly, you get a lot of quantity over quality. There are a lot of gyms out there that don't know what the fuck they're doing. And there are also a lot of gyms that just do group exercise classes that are pretty much, what is CrossFit? It's just random shit. It's random shit with a lot of different modalities, etc. So you have a lot of gyms that just don't pay the licensing fee to CrossFit and then call themselves like, beast training, and it's just a fucking garage gym, just like a CrossFit gym, and they do, but they just can't use the name because they're not paying headquarters. So there's a lot more CrossFit type gyms out there than actually named CrossFit. What do you think about GOMAD? Gallon of milk a day plus 20 rep squats? What do you mean, together? I think gallon of milk a day is stupid as shit. 20 rep squats, high rep squats are fantastic. High rep squats to failure, fuck yeah. Drop the weight. You can squat 225 or 315, cool. Put 135 on the bar and do sets of 30. See how you feel. You're gonna be fucking wiped out. Can you give some guidance on elimination diet or point to a good source on it? For sure, Google. You could also go to the Gain Train blog, and you can also join Swolenormous X. We walk you through every single step. I have a bunch of articles or blogs on the website, swolenormousx.com, the Gain Train blog. That's boxes. I don't call them fucking boxes. They're gyms. The fuck out of here. I ain't calling that shit. It's a gym. It's a CrossFit gym. Plus, I've done so much content. I've done so many videos on YouTube and podcasts on elimination diet. I'm not going to go into the whole detail of it right now, though. What rest time do you recommend between sets for relatively heavy 4 to 6? 2 to 3 minutes probably, maybe longer depending on what you're doing. 4 to 6 reps, you definitely need some more rest time, so probably 3+ minutes. What supplements should be taking for 45-year-old who wants to train almost every day? Not the right question. I don't know what you're doing for nutrition. That's where you should be more concerned with. Not quite sure. You probably want to be making, focusing on joint health, collagen and bone broth and things of that nature. That'd be really good for your joints. Fish oil, stuff like that. I don't know what your nutrition is like though. Best stretches and exercise to incorporate when I have a sedentary job. Yoga. Would yoga before gym loosen up tightness in lower back? For sure. If you're asking, you haven't practiced yoga. Start practicing regularly 2 or 3 times a week at least, and then you get back to Papa. Can you build muscle while being in a caloric deficit, or should you prioritize weight loss or muscle building for what your goal is? Yes, the latter. I would not be focused on trying to build in a caloric deficit. Maybe for a brand new lifter, if you have a ton of body fat to lose, if you're extremely overweight, if you haven't been training for a long time, if you're new to the gym. Otherwise, focus on either building or cutting. Most people need to focus more on building. Most people try to cut before they have anything to cut to. If you're skinny fat, you don't need to cut. There's nothing to cut. You don't have any mass. There's nothing underneath that you want to see. You need to build some fucking muscle. How should I avoid all the flirty guys, chatty girls, and bored retirees who always want to talk to me when I'm training without being an asshole? Put your headphones in and don't make eye contact. Put a hat on and don't answer. Just be very short. Like I'll take out my AirPod or something like that. I'll be like, oh yeah, cool. I'm like, yeah, man, for sure. And I put it back in. I'm there to train. If they want to keep on talking, be like, sorry, I'm going to keep on. Who cares if you're fucking an asshole? You're worried about what other people think. Don't worry about what the fuck other people think. You're there to work out. If they're interrupting your workout, they're interrupting. Do your fucking shit. Put your headphones on. If they keep on talking, you can't hear them. Like you're there to go to the gym. You're not there to have a conversation. Flirty guys, chatty girls, go there and do work. If you're actually engaging them, that's your fault. Focus on your shit. And eventually you'll be known as the girl who fucking goes there and gets work done. No one's going to talk to you. Done. Plant-based is back. Okay. Was that plant-based is back? LOL. How's everyone today? I've been out for the past few days due to strep. No motivation or energy. You're just sick. You'll be better. Let's see here. How do you know if olive oil is cold pressed? It'll say so. I gave a bottle, but I got a bottle that doesn't say hyphenated. Is cold. If it says so, I don't know. Unless you're there in the factory. I couldn't even tell you what it looks like. I don't even know if someone showed me a cold press, like what it was in front of me, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is. I'm like, oh, are you pressing something cold? Like, what does that actually mean? That's the kind of shit that we just kind of regurgitate. Make sure it's cold press, or I'll say, make sure it's cold press. No one really knows what the fuck that is. They could just be making it up. Do you know what cold press is? No one does. No one does. No one knows what it looks like. You got Gandalf or fucking, you got Dumbledore back there like cold press, fucking Harry Potter shit. Let's see. Hey, Papa, do you like any philosophies such as Marcus Aurelius and this? Yeah, meditation is a great fucking read. I have a lot of books on my Kindle. I just kind of poke through and flip through different things. How often do I do yoga per week? Not as much as I want to. I really don't do as much yoga as I really need to. It's enough for me to get to the gym. I try to do it a couple times a week. The most important thing for yoga is consistency, not doing it like 7 times 1 week and then not doing it for 3 months. It's better if you do it once a week than sporadically. Make sure you just get on some consistent schedule. Fellow man bun in the house. What up? Man bun for life. Have you heard of the disease phenylketonuria? No, I have not. Although if I looked it up and Googled it, maybe I'd be like, oh, I know of this. Not by whatever that name, not off the top of my head. Headphones and 0 eye contact. Damn straight. That's what I would assume, Kayla. Cold pressed, hydraulic press. What I mean is if you showed me the machine, I'd be like, oh, what's going on here? Unless I knew, oh, that's olive oil, I would guess. I'm just saying, we all say these terms as if, how would you know? Even when it comes down to things like grass-fed beef, you have to try to find reputable sources, and that's where reviews come in, and when the company is really transparent about things, because you understand, it's like, unless you're there and you're working for them, like, how do you know? That's why the marketing tricks a lot of people, because it says, lose weight faster or build muscle quicker. You're like, okay. And you take it, you have no fucking idea. You don't look at the studies. You don't understand where they're getting it from. You don't understand the legal ramifications of or how they have to list things, the order of ingredients, proprietary blends, FDA approval, all this stuff that can get skirted because people are just like, oh, it says it does this. It must do that. No, it's probably just cornstarch and lemon flavor, and you're just sucking it down and spending $100 a month, wasting your fucking money. That's usually what it comes down to. Some people have issues with citrus. The elimination diet is only for... The elimination diet could be anything you want it to be. There's just certain foods that will cause people some issues sometimes. Some people have like reactions, like any of you have like fruit, you eat some fruit, then you have like I guess like restriction in your throat. Sometimes you feel like in the glands in your throat, you might feel like a tingling or you might feel some type of a reaction there. I forget the details exactly with citrus, but it depends. Some people have major health concerns. So when you do an elimination, like a hardcore elimination, the more you eliminate for that time period, the better your test will be. The better your test will be. So if you don't eliminate, let's say, the shitty beef that you're eating, if you don't eliminate eggs, if you don't eliminate dairy, then you can't test it. So the more things that you're eliminating, the more of a clean slate you can test things when you bring them back. And if you have some major autoimmune issues, some major bloating, some major discomfort, some people kind of feel pretty good. They do the elimination like, wow, I feel so much better. Great. Some people are dealing with a lot of active like fucking issues and sensitivities. So you want to clean sweep as much as you can to get to the root of the problem. So there's different levels of elimination. You could do just getting rid of dairy. Okay. But at the same time, there could be 7 other things that you're eating that's still causing problems. So you might eliminate dairy and be like, oh, that doesn't do anything. I guess dairy is good for me. Well, not really, because dairy is adding to your bloating, but you're also still eating 5 other things that are causing you to bloat. So the more you get rid of, the more you can test. Grass-fed BCAAs. Grass-fed BCAAs. That's a good one. It's a disease where your body is missing the enzyme that breaks down protein. One of my buddies was born with it and can only intake 16 to 20 grams of protein a day. Damn. I had people talk to me flirty at the gym before, made the mistake of being nice and got mad because I didn't put out. What, at the gym? Like, hey, you want to fuck on the bench press? Now I'm a bitch. Talk to me in the middle of my set and I'll cut you. There you go. Whatever. Who gives a shit? If you all just stop worrying about what other people's emotions or reactions will be, you'll treat your life differently. Value your time more. Okay, all the time that you spend scrolling through social media, the time you spend with people, they have to be worth your time. It's being selfish with your time. You have to be very selfish with your time. Any energy that you spend around other people is time that you're not going to have at the end of your life. So if these people suck, don't spend your time with shitty people. That's it. It's so simple. Who cares what someone else thinks? Who gives a shit what someone else thinks? Fuck that person. Let them think whatever they want. Have fun. Go ham. Who cares? He wanted to fuck in the steam room. Why? It's probably dirty, and also, it's too hot. It's too hot. If you're creating some real fucking heat, you make a steam room out of a fucking closet. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Probably doesn't even have a fucking beard. Jabroni. Silly gamer on the YouTubes. I took an intolerance test. They test through hairs now, and I know now different integrated functions that when you eat something, it's a whole different effect than necessarily just like testing your skin. So it's always great to do that, like, and maybe cross-check that with actual experience too. But yeah, it'll give you some more ideas. He didn't, no beard. There you go. There you go. That's why. That's your warning sign right there. That's your warning sign. Let's see. Texas Titan 84. I have made myself do yoga 3 times a week and it's done wonders for my body, feeling better, and my range of motion in the gym on lifts. I'm telling you, if you're not doing yoga yet, if you love to lift weights and you want to get stronger and feel better, do yoga. It's not to be all foofy and the meditation. Like, that's fucking amazing. And you should be doing that too. But if you just want to do it for the physical benefits, I'm telling you, you're missing out, beaches. You're missing out. Don't miss out. So great Sunday Funday Q&Anus. Fantastic. So let me remind you all, tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, accountability meeting for those of you that are Daily Swole Club members and Swolenormous X members. We're doing it live in the private Facebook group. So if you want in on the private Facebook community, you can get access. In addition, it comes with your Swolenormous X membership. If you want to check out the club, you can support with $1 a month, $3, like your choice, or none. It's cool. You can stay here. But if you want to get access to the private Facebook group, you can do so via the Daily Swole Club. So we will welcome you into our private community for supporting the podcast and helping keep it ad-free. And we have a live accountability meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. So I posted the event in the group. So if you want to check that out, make sure that you say you're going to the event. But if you want to join, check it out, swolenormousx.com, Daily Swole Club, or memberships and all that good stuff. We'll talk more tomorrow during the accountability meeting for those of you that are in the private group about what's coming and some cool shit. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1150 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps, and I'll see you tomorrow for 1151 of the sleeves. Peace, McGeese, deuce, magoose, your boy, Papa Swole, yo, out.